Yo, okay, guys. All right. So, what a lot of y'all don't know is I have been reshooting and reshooting and reshooting this particular video. Why? Because there's so much that I want to talk about, but I wasn't sure how I was going to structure it, how I was going to present it, what would be the most relevant point. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'm going to flow into it like I normally do because it's a topic that I'm really pleased and excited to talk about. In this video, I'm going to talk about my experience at PAX Unplugged 2024. And let me tell you, it was memorable, it was mind-blowing, it was fantastic in so many ways. And I get to talk about it because I was a content creator for my third time. It's indescribable how I felt being there this year. And I get to share that with you and maybe encourage you to go and give my rating. So, if you're ready, I'm ready. Brain, mouth, heart, badge. Just got the drip going over here. Dungeons and Dragons. So, let's do this. I finally get to talk about it. I'm excited. You in a way. Gee whiz. So, get ready.
Let me hear you sing. 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 Let me hear you sing.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, blurs of all ages, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. It is I, Navy Montel, your frosty bearded blerdicorn here. Hopefully you guys are taking care of yourselves to do what I tell you to always do, and I mean this. Hopefully you're washing these, covering this, staying as far away as you need to, or as close as you need to, or as close as you need to. Looking out for yourselves, your loved ones, and each other. I appreciate y'all so much for joining me here today. I was not kidding in my intro. I have reshot this video 3 times. This is number 4 because I've looked at the previous recordings that I've done and they didn't live up to the standards. You know how I am when it comes to telling y'all something. I always want to make sure that you genuinely feel what I'm speaking about. So I sat back, I looked at all of the material that I have gathered from PAX Unplugged 2024, and I'm gonna let that speak for me. So, PAX Unplugged 2024, this is my 3rd year as a content creator, and yes, the video was a little late, but life be lifing. But I want to thank y'all for being patient with me. Hopefully y'all had a chance to check out my my previous video, what I thought of MomoCon, which was my first one, again, as a content creator, and check it out and tell me what you think of it. Ever since I started attending PAX Unplugged, I have always enjoyed the idea of a convention revolving around gaming. Now, yes, there are other gaming conventions. You've got Gen Con, you've got Too Many Games, you've got them all across the country. But there's something about this convention that just seems to resonate with me. And it's probably because I have friends who go and attend this convention. And they are melanated. So when my friend said, hey, let's go, check it out, starting in 2022, I said, you know, I've always wanted to go. So I went. First year made a grand impression on me. Second year, 2023, made an even grander impression. And we're going to talk about 2024. But if you've never been here before, hello. My name is Montel. I am a YouTuber, Twitch streamer, podcaster. I'm on Instagram. I like to bring positivity everywhere I go. I like to bring blurs from the dark into the light, bring the nerds from the dark into the light. I like to bring positivity, motivation, inspiration, and uplifting and encouraging others to be their best nerdy and blurdy selves. Because in this world, people want you to have an automatic title. No. As long as you're passionate about it and you're respectful to others and you can be inviting to other nerds and blurs, by all means, let's do this. And I like being at the forefront of that. I've been doing this all my life. So, thank you for joining me. If you're here for the first time and you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button, that red button right there underneath the video. Hit that. That way you can be in tune whenever I create something else. Please share. Please share the videos if you've seen something that you like and someone else would get a kick out of it. Please don't hesitate. Let them know where you've seen it. That way they can show that love to me as well. And of course, Like my videos. Please, 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 please. I've learned to pace myself so I don't get dizzy while I'm shooting this. What is PAX? PAX stands for Penny Arcade Expo. It was created to celebrate gaming of all genres, tabletop, video gaming, RPGs, you name it. And it has since branched out into 4 separate conventions. You have PAX Prime, PAX East, PAX Unplugged, and PAX Australia. Although in my opinion there should be a PAX UK. Nothing against Australia, nothing against it at all, but there should be one in the UK. That gives me motivation to want to go to the UK. I mean, I already have that motivation, but I digress. This year was very special for me because one of my podcast cohorts, tag team partner, a dope, amazing lady, Lainey from Geek by Heart, she joined me this year and we sort of tag teamed it. I had another set of eyes with me as we were walking around the exhibit hall floor, and shout outs to my friends at the Dapper Meeple podcast who have been the ones that have got me to come to PAX Unplugged. Amazing gentlemen who talk about gaming just as well. Please go check them out. Also check out Geek by Heart. Her and her husband Jay, phenomenal people. They are gaming fanatics, but they're sweetest people, and they put out some incredible content, and I definitely want them to be supported. So Lainey came out this year and we hit the floor. Let me tell you, we're going to take it from one point to another, and I'm going to express a few of my own opinions during this course. And if you've ever been to PAX, and if I've said something that you don't agree with, or maybe something you could add to, put it in the comments down below. I am not perfect when I do this, but I genuinely enjoyed this convention to the nth degree, and I want to talk about a few things. First, registration. All of us deal with registration. Registration was easy. Literally walk in one door, go into this room, talk to this really, really nice lady, got my credentials, in and out, less than 5 minutes. The lines, though they were long, they moved. I've been to conventions where I've stood in line for 2.5 to 3 hours, barely taking a step every 20 minutes. This wasn't that case. And even with all of these people that were around, there was that sense of excitement and inclusion and a strong vibe of what's getting ready to happen and what we're going to see and what we're going to play. This convention offers it across the board as far as tabletop gaming. There is no video gaming whatsoever. There are no controllers. There is no consoles. There's none of that. No. Back in the day before video games came along, I want y'all to remember this, there were board games. You had Monopoly, you had Payday, you had Sorry, you had Parcheesi, you had so many different games. And of course, when video games came around, everybody was excited. Just yours truly was just as well. But I always said, this is where I started. Being able to play games across from an opponent or another family member or a friend and just enjoy the camaraderie, enjoy the energy and the vibe. And this is what PAX brings. PAX Unplugged brings that. And they do it in such an amazing and incredible way because it shows you that as soon as you walk through the door, you are welcome to check out anything you want, try anything you like, and tell us what you think of it. That's the other point I want to give. They are happy to receive feedback. If you have attended a convention and you never told them what was wrong, but it happened again, don't complain. You don't have the right to complain about it if you didn't tell someone about it. And more often than not, if you tell a convention that something is not right, something is off, maybe you had a bad experience, they're going to break their neck and bust their face to fix it and to correct it and make it better. So the next year, you've got a better experience. And I feel like they did that at PAX because there were some layout issues from the previous year that I think a lot of people weren't very conducive with, but it worked out. And let me tell you, it was so clean. As soon as I walked into the hall, I felt this joy, this excitement of knowing that there are games down there that I've never played before that I get to check out and I get to enjoy. So they offer so much at PAX Unplugged. The entire Pennsylvania Convention Center is laid out. Depending on what your love is, if you are big into mainstream games, if you're into independent gaming, if you want to chat with creators, if you want to support a game during a Kickstarter, yes, Kickstarter had a booth. Kickstarter always has a booth. But I love how theirs was laid out where around the perimeter of the booth, you had the creators and their games. And they got to pitch their games and get people to pledge on Kickstarter. So if you're on Kickstarter, check them out. They are working hard to create something and add something fantastic to the tapestry of tabletop board gaming, card gaming, RPGs, whatever you like. It was such a smooth vibe. So we get in, and of course, one of the main staples is Wild Bill's. If you're not familiar with Wild Bill's, they are a craft soda company. To me, it's a staple. When I see Wild Bill's there, then I know I don't have to worry about spending $5 for a Pepsi or $4 for a bottle of water. Because if you've already purchased a cup at a previous convention, all you have to do is pay one fee for the entire year. I'm sorry, for the entire weekend. I wish it was for the entire, good grief. For the entire weekend, and you have refills from the start of the convention to the very end before they break down. And that is convenient, especially if you're on the go. Maybe you got a tournament you're trying to get to. Maybe there's a demo you want to be a part of. Or in my case, there are interviews and interactions and collaborations that you're generally be a part of. Another thing I loved about PAX this year as a content creator is that we have our own separate quiet space. Be advised, if you are part of another convention and you're not providing a quiet space for media or content creators, then you're missing the point, because the chatter out there about your convention is one of the best forms of advertisement out there. So if there's a content creator who's enjoying their experience and they want to sit here and shoot, they shouldn't have to fight with other attendees. They should be able to get into the space and sit down, maybe get their bearings about them, check over their notes, look over their footage, see what they're going to do, maybe even do a little quick diatribe on their device talking about the experience so far. But PAX provides that, and it's actually a really, really nice space. It's quiet. It's the same spot, but that's what makes it great, because familiarity. You can set up, you can bring your stuff, you can chill. I loved it. Thank you so much for doing that, you guys. You gave us a place where we can actually have our stuff locked up so we can hit the floor. That we're not toting 17 pounds of whatever on the floor trying to get this footage. There was offerings of demos, tournaments. You had game companies there doing demonstrations of their new games. You had independent creators who were trying to pitch their wares. You also had this humongous board game library. Now, this is another thing that switched up from before. Previously, you had independent game companies and mainstream sharing the same space. So it was kind of hard to explain your game in a space where you could barely hear yourself. This time they changed it. So now they put them in one of the larger rooms, which was originally reserved for panels. And they put them together and they said, here, put your game out there. We'll tell everybody where to go. They can sit down. You can talk to them about the game. And it worked out so well. I found this space and it was humongous. Enormous. But there was such a good vibe nonetheless. That is one of the things that this convention does. They convey an amazing energy, a good vibe, and you feel like you belong. I had a chance to meet fellow content creators, as well as, work with Lainey from Geek by Heart. And also, we are a part of Blur's Eye View. Please go check out our podcast, Blur's Eye View, here on YouTube. We work hard so you don't have to. So I got to meet some incredible content creators, cosplayers, and just melanated families. This is one of the main points about this video that I want to express. There are spaces that do include us. And there are people out there that are quick to complain. If you don't go to these events, if you don't frequent these events or these conventions, but you have an opinion, don't. Please don't have an opinion if you've never been, if you've never seen it, if you only hear secondhand from somebody else. Be your own judge and go for yourself. I will always go before I form an opinion. Unfortunately, nowadays in social media, that's not always the case. But you can still form your own opinion by your own experience. You know what I'm saying? So I did that. And that's why I enjoyed this convention. So I had a chance to meet families. I met boyfriend and girlfriend, fiancés, brothers and sisters. It was incredible. And talking with them, I did a few interviews with them and I got their opinions, and they enjoy tabletop gaming and they appreciate having an event where they can come, enjoy their gaming, have fun, meet new people, reunite with old folks, and maybe even talk to people that are very influential in what they do. and make the experience that much more lovely. So shout outs to the people that we had a chance to meet, Lainey and myself. We were all over the place with our gimbals. Let me tell you, we look like human robots, just all over the place. So I had a chance to meet Howdy Love Darling, who is an incredible DM, tabletop gaming creator. And I had a chance to meet Spunky Taylor, another person who is an amazing content creator, gamer, the whole nine. And go check them out on Instagram. They are phenomenal people. It was so wonderful to see people that I know, but I was excited to make new friends. In events like this, they encourage that. They want you to do that. That is one of the motivations. Tabletop gaming can't happen if you don't make friends, if you don't meet new people, or just reunite with your old friends. I know that there was an impromptu meetup for some of the melanated creators, and I'm sad I missed it, but I think this is something that we should be doing going forward. Have these planned meetups with melanated content creators and tabletop gamers and just vibe and just have a good time. Maybe reunite with someone, meet someone for the first time, give them their flowers, and just help build this community of melanated tabletop gamers like myself. I am quick to pull out a board game if time allows and the people are willing, but not a lot of people are, but that's okay. These gatherings are so conducive to the vibe and the energy of melanated tabletop gamers. Blurs as a whole, we do love board games and card games, but we also like to meet the people who have been influential on us, so we could do that. Am I missing anything? As a blerdicorn, if you will, and someone who's been in the space before, but who's lived this life all his life, it's always wonderful to see my people out there smiling and laughing and excited about new games and new systems and new people and making new friends and just the overall experience and vibe. And I encourage you, if you've never been to events like PAX Unplugged, go. Please go. It can do nothing but be good for you. If you don't particularly care for it, that's all right. At least you went, at least you experienced it. Now, if you do go and you're not particularly caring for it, don't go on to social media and complain. If you haven't given feedback to what could be improved, what could be changed, what could be added, what could be taken away, don't be the problem. I've seen too many content creators out here whine, moan, bitch, and complain because they heard this from someone who was with someone, who was next to someone, who was under someone, who was over someone, who attended this event. And now you're getting everything so secondhand, you're not even sure if it's even legitimate. But go experience it for yourself, enjoy it for yourself, make your own assessment, form your own opinion, make your own decision on how you feel about it. And as a blur, I encourage this. I really, really do. There are more tabletop gaming blurs out there than people are willing to shake a stick at. And I'd like to see more of us at these events. I am not someone who says, oh, okay, well, you can't go there. No, first of all, I'm not ever going to say that. But I will encourage you, if you're a board gamer, card gamer, you love RPGs, you love Dungeons and Dragons, you love games like Werewolf and Blood on the Clock Tower, or anything like that, then come to events like PAX Unplugged, Too Many Games, Gen Con, Origins Game Fair. Events like that are phenomenal. They're absolutely phenomenal. And you can build community by doing that. So, overall, as a content creator, I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed myself immensely, having a chance to chit chat with other people, work in conjunction with my mutuals and my friends to get content and just measure the overall vibe. As an attendee, I had a blast. I wouldn't change anything about this convention. It's convenient. The only thing I would change is let's have more food options. Let's have better food options. Nothing wrong with convention food, but y'all know convention food is expensive AF, okay? They charge you an enormous amount of money for very little food. So if you're not prone to go to Trader Joe's across the street from the Pennsylvania Convention Center and just get whatever snacks, or go to the Reading Terminal right across the street from it, which is the food court of all food courts. If you've never been to the Reading Terminal, I highly recommend this. But definitely do that. And yes, I came away with some decent swag. I've got more board games now than I did before, but I had the opportunity to meet the creators. And that was very satisfying. Talking to them about their journey, what their inspiration was to make their game, why do they do what they do, where do they want to go. So anytime you have a chance to meet a creator and you like what they do and they're stand-up people, support them. Absolutely. So overall, I would definitely give this, on a scale of 1 to 5, blerdicorns, I'd give it 8. I'm looking forward to 2025. I'm looking forward to this year. So if you're thinking about doing this and you want to come to PAX Unplugged, I highly encourage it because there's so much to do. Panels, workshops, performances, live sessions of RPGs. Talk to the creators, talk to fellow people. I highly encourage it. So that is 8 stars out of 5. Or in my case, 8 blerdicorns out of 5. So thank you so much for joining me today, y'all. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Thank you for just supporting me. And go and check out PAX Unplugged 2025 this year for yourself. Be your own eyes and minds on it. Don't let other people influence you on what you're going to experience or anything like that, because that takes away from you having the opportunity to see it, feel it, experience it, understand it, make your memories. Okay? So, in the meantime and in between time, as I tell all of you beautiful, sexy people to do, please continue to do this for all of the fellow tabletop gamers, RPG gamers, board gamers, card gamers, cosplayers, creators, fellow blurs like ourselves, and me. Stay nerdy, stay geeky, and please stay sexy. I'll see y'all later. I got another video coming. You want to be there for that one.